A former UCF football player is seeking donations after his dispute with the NCAA.
I can't play college.
All right, guys, my name's Caleb Bowman. I'm the co-founder of SignatureNIL, a company that makes merch for student athletes like this, and also creates YouTube and Instagram and TikTok content for them. And today we're going to be reacting to a pretty good video about NIL stuff. So it's from Collin and Samir. They have an amazing podcast that at first I wasn't totally sure on, but once I saw a lot of their content, I was pretty hooked. And so I think you guys are going to be pretty excited about this.
I can't play college football, no more scholarship, can't pay for school.
Declared ineligible this week when he refused the NCAA's compromise of leaving UCF and his football out of YouTube videos where he does make ad revenue.
Oh man, destroying. He's the best. Actually, I haven't watched that much of his stuff, but my brother has. And I know he was a huge deal in the NIL community because this was in 2017 before these laws went into effect in 2021. And so he actually got kicked out of UCF because he was trying to do YouTube and he had millions of followers, of subscribers, and he just decided that making the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars off of YouTube revenue would just be more beneficial to him than continuing his kicking career at UCF. And so that just makes sense to me, honestly. Like, I wouldn't turn down all that money to keep kicking at my university, but it sucks that he had to choose, and I'm glad that's changed now.
Starting today, the NCAA is changing its long-held policy and will allow athletes to make money from their name, image, and likeness.
You might think football, basketball players, they stand to make the most money.
But all athletes stand a chance to get paid well, especially those with a significant social media following.
Dude, this is so true. Like, obviously, the football and basketball players are going to be getting paid a lot for maybe like coming to the university, even though that's technically not legal, but we all know, like we've heard about Texas A&M giving their guys like $30 million for NIL deals that they're just paying them. But the big opportunity here is for everyone. Whoever you are, if you want to grow your social media following using the fact that you are an athlete as a way to just grow that and a way for people to be instantly interested in you, this is the time to do it because there aren't that many athletes who are trying to do it right now. And you can just slide in and create amazing content. There's no good content that has like NIL in the title or even college athlete. I've tried to find it. There's not great content coming out of college athletes. And one reason why is because college athletes don't have time to do it. And so that's why we're trying to step in and help them create that. But I also know that there are some amazing guys. Shout out to Nico Schultz. He's trying to create some awesome YouTube content. And I think we can, if we work together, these people are going to get there eventually. These freshmen who are coming in, who don't have any following now, they're going to be growing by the end of their college careers.
This is Olivia Dunn. She's a gymnast at LSU and has over 1.1 million followers on Instagram and 4.1 million followers on TikTok.
Dang, that's a lot of followers. 4 million on TikTok and 1 million on Instagram. And it's probably just gone higher since they've been able to make money and make better content. I really wonder what they make. I would say like at least $1 million a year.
And as of July 1st, she can actually make a profit off of those platforms.
She's on track to make a big profit. People are saying she's going to be one of the most profitable college athletes, period.
Period.
And if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, I've got a message for you. Subscribe.
Ugh, these people are the worst. Everybody always subscribe. You know what? But while I say it, you should probably subscribe and like, just, you know, so we can get more NIL content out there. Like, I don't make any money from this and I want to make it my full-time job. So like, that would be really helpful.
Let's welcome Sedona Prince of Oregon basketball to roll the intro.
Hey, I'm Sedona Prince, and Collin and Samir paid me to roll this intro.
Ooh, that was pretty slick there. Like, I see what they did there. They used the athletes. You know what? Like, I should try that.
Hey, I'm Nico Schultz, and SignatureNIL paid me to roll this intro. Let's get it.
Now, the value to the school is attracting a ton of students, building the brand of the schools.
They will put you on billboards.
They'll sell a media rights deal for millions of dollars for you to play on ESPN, but your compensation ends at, we'll pay for your school.
And here's the problem too. So like, they're talking about you get your school paid for, but I know a lot of students who are walk-ons who don't get their school paid for. And we're not talking about just like the 4 people on the basketball team or a few people on the football team, but like lots of athletes who aren't in main sports either aren't on a scholarship at all, or they get like 10% or 50% of college paid for. And so they're like doing all this work, working for the university basically by practicing all the time, trying to make them money. And then they also can't get a job. And so they are just racking up oftentimes debt in order to go to this school. And then they're going to come out of it and they probably won't go pro. And so it's just a really tough situation. And so I'm really glad that these athletes can now make money on the side.
A lot of college athletes actually live on very modest means, or sometimes don't even have enough money to like have housing.
Sometimes, like I said, there's hungry nights where I'm not able to eat, and but I still got to play up to my capabilities. There are hungry nights that I go to bed and I'm starving.
Shabazz Napier, hungry nights, like that. This part I don't quite understand, because like all the athletes I know have a meal plan where they can always get food from the university and it's free, and it's usually better than what the other students get. So I don't know about that. I mean, that reminds me of like Giannis in Greece, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who was the MVP 2 times in the NBA. Like, he didn't have enough money to pay for any amount of food, so he was sharing all his food that he was getting from his training team when he was like 15 or 16 with all his brothers. And then he was totally underweight and totally undernourished, so he was like just dying basically on the court because he was practicing so hard. But like, to have that in America, that seems like a pretty terrible problem to have. And I don't know how that happens when like people are trying to take care of their nutrition, and like we want these athletes to be their best. And like that guy's like a prominent, like he was one of the stars of the NCAA tournament that year, like with him and Kemba, like on that Connecticut team. So I'm just really surprised that that was a reality for any student. That just shouldn't be what's happening.
Less than 2% of basketball players are drafted, and even a fewer amount actually make viable careers, right, in the NBA. Your 4 years at college could actually be your most lucrative time now as an athlete, whereas before you couldn't make any money.
Wait, why are those the 2 things that they chose? The guy, like, he's like, oh, dunk, breaks off the rim, and then the guy just like getting swatted.
From the biggest brands in the world down to, your local restaurant in your community where your college is, deals were signed starting at midnight when this was announced.
Clearly the industry was ready for this.
Right, so this is crazy. So Jack Nolly, which is one of our athletes that we signed with, so he actually, according to Open Doors, is the first athlete to ever cash out an NIL deal in college history. And so we know some people at Open Doors. They're headquartered in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we're from Lincoln, Nebraska. That's where I am right now. And so, yeah, my brother said that they had a meeting and they were talking about him because he was the first athlete to ever like take out money from Open Doors, which is the biggest NIL company in the country. And so like, it's kind of crazy.
The Kavendar Twins, who are basketball players at Fresno State, they quickly signed a deal with Boost Mobile, like right away. And
I like how it says #ad, like, oh, we just thought you were supporting Boost Mobile by yourself. Like, you didn't need to be paid to do that. You just really love Boost Mobile that much.
I read an article that said that they have the potential to make more money than their head coach. So you're in this really interesting place where you can play for a team, but double up your coach's salary.
Honestly, I don't think that's that weird. Like, LeBron James definitely makes more than his head coach, Frank Vogel. Like, I wouldn't expect Frank Vogel to make $100 million a year and LeBron to make $7 million. It's like, it makes sense that it's flipped, right? With endorsement deals and everything. So that makes sense to me.
And I think what we're going to see a lot of too is podcasts, vlogs. There's already 2 Nebraska basketball players who started a podcast called Off Court, and it's already sponsored by a local bar.
Let's go Nebraska represent. Yeah, so like I got to see Bryce and Trey play a lot this year. Bryce was amazing. He was like freshman of the week, 7 times Big Ten freshman of the year. And yeah, he was just a really solid player, 5-star. He was the first 5-star to ever come to Nebraska. So the podcast and other ways to make money using NIL deals was a great indicator for him to come here and join his brother, and they could do stuff like that together. And so that podcast was pretty interesting. Like, they had somebody from the radio and kind of associated with the university, but he couldn't be like on university staff, help them be like the host of the show, and then they asked questions and had some of their teammates on the podcast. So it was pretty interesting.
The stuff that we're seeing really early on, brand deals. Brand deals are the foundation of the creator economy. This thing works because of advertising. That's what we're going to see a lot more of.
Yeah, I can tell you that that's definitely been correct 9 months through this. So most of the things that you're going to see people doing is, there might be a few big YouTubers or something, but most of them are just brand deals, posting on social media, something like that. But also I've seen a lot of stuff with radio shows, like sports analysis types of stuff like that, which has been a pretty interesting thing. And then they get sponsors to sponsor their radio show, stuff like that. So that's another emerging space that we've kind of seen here.
Other college athletes can launch merchandise.
So Lexie Sun, who's a volleyball player at University of Nebraska, on June 30th filed a trademark for her logo, and then the next day announced an apparel line.
It's the way the creator economy works. 1 is brand deals, and 2 is direct to consumer.
Yeah, Lexie. Yeah, Lexie's a super cool person. I got to meet her a couple of times through my church, and then she was coming and meeting some kids. I go to a camp that all the kids there are or have been in foster care, and she came out just of her own time to hang out with the kids and play volleyball with them. And it was super cool. I've heard stories of little kids who I've seen since then who are like, oh yeah, we went to the game and watched Lexie and it was super exciting and we knew that we could chase our dreams and stuff. And so she's just a super cool person, but she's also like amazing at business apparently. Like, my understanding, it's not all like disclosed, but my understanding is she's the top paid athlete last year at Nebraska, including the men's football team, the men's basketball team. But she's just like going out and killing it with the brand deals and selling merchandise and her own clothing line. So she made a lot of money last year and she deserved every penny of it. She didn't like just get that handed to her like some athletes have. She made that money legitimately.
I wonder too, how much do certain schools and conferences get involved? Schools are now going to be incentivized to offer creator education.
The X factor here is all going to be about education. How are athletes educated about how to monetize?
Yeah, so I know at the University of Nebraska, there are some different classes that are like 1 credit hour classes that some people in like the entrepreneurial space have set up for athletes. So like one of them is podcasting, another one I think is just like marketing and social media and stuff. And they've sold out like the class every single time because athletes really want to figure that out and they really are just popular because athletes want to make money using their NIL. And so I'm really glad that we have people at the university trying to help them do that.
To see, I'm curious when the first 7-figure deal is going to get announced.
I saw that there was an Ohio State quarterback who had a $1 million+ NIL deal, and he never even played 1 snap at Ohio State this year, and then he transferred. So apparently that investment didn't go over very well. But yeah, athletes can be getting paid a ton if you're the top talent.
I'm also looking forward to hearing some of these success stories of, I just bought my parents a house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
That's
how unbelievable that moment will be because college athletes are now able to make money off their name and likeness.
Well, if he's excited, check this out. This guy brought his mom to the US because of an NIL deal. Yeah, that's pretty incredible. And those are the stories we want to see.
So that's our take on college athletes being able to monetize their name, image, and likeness.
Definitely an amazing video. I really enjoyed it. I think they created one of the better informational podcasts about NIL, and that was so early on, and I think they predicted a lot of things correctly. So if you want to see more videos like this and even more content specifically with athletes doing challenges, doing exciting stuff, I think this is like the least exciting thing that we're going to do. So you should definitely subscribe to our channel, like the video, try to get it out there because we want to make NIL content. And like I said, I haven't found anything besides like news reports on it, which obviously are not meant for YouTube. And we want to make just content for NIL specifically for YouTube, so you guys can be informed on what's going on. And if you're an athlete, learn what to do, help you guys make money. So subscribe, like, and I'll see you at the next video.